IPMNation.com.
Counterpunch Media Live in 3, 2, 1.
Live from the Counterpunch Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy on IPMNation.com. If you're not going to Mortal Up, why not just stay in bed?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Welcome, and thank you, let me be the first to say, for stopping by and hanging out. Get ready, buckle up. It's going to be a good one today, I'm hoping. This is the 448th episode of the number one rated All Natural Being and the gong heard around the world, or as I like to think of it, it is for me every morning, my snooze alarm's sworn enemy. Radio that sparks your smart, broadcasts that build your strong and unleash your legendary. Because make no mistake, I believe if you and I are still vertical, we got a legend to let loose. And we're simply, to that end, serving up the best thoughts in the history of thinking. So what do you say? Here's your opportunity to mortal up, to crush your can't, and give your critics a quick kick on the way out. What do you say? It's time for you and me to go kick in some doors. And we have so much to get to this morning in terms of our lowlifes making headlines. I'll probably jump right into that, but I wanted to thank a couple people for some things we've got going on. The wardrobe this morning, all set, brought to you by my good friend, Sue B. McCann. Now, there's a little bit of a story behind this. And if you're listening on the radio side, thank you so very much for that. If you're listening on IPMNation.com, if you're listening to the on-demand rebroadcast on Spotify or iHeartRadio or iTunes, let me just say that I'm wearing a black T-shirt and in big white font with a question mark is the words all, or are the words all set. Now, a little bit of story behind this. Sue sent this to me, so providing the wardrobe. Again, thank you very much, Sue. So the term behind all set is that back from my law enforcement days, if we were out and about, you stop someone, say it's late at night, you stop someone alongside of the road, or someone else has someone stopped and you pull up alongside and you go, hey, you all set? Meaning, do you need any help or do you have this, right? Can you cover this? Is it going to be a fair fight if it goes to that, right? So all set was just our way of checking to make sure that the other guy or the other girl, right, was ready to go, didn't need your help, so you're all set. So yes, I am all set. I'm prepared for my big day tomorrow. So Sue, thank you so very much for the wardrobe. Let me also say, I get tired of hearing my own voice that loud. Let me also say, let me apologize for missing yesterday. It was really a tough day. We found out after the fact that my parents are being indicted in the college admissions scandal for trying to get me into, I don't know, like the Slippery Rock Community College and tech school or whatever. So yeah, I should have known then things were going to go south for me, that if you're going to pay to get me into a school, make it a big time one, not like the Ottumwa, Iowa Tech Center, and the like. So it was a tough day yesterday, so I apologize for missing the show. And I should say that tomorrow I won't be here because I'm going over to the Columbus Cranium Shack and Drug Hut So I'll be there for a bunch of pre-op testing because what is today's date? 9. So 10 is 19. So 10, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Look at that. I've only had 14 days left till I head back in, for my full-on pedicure. I head back in. But tomorrow we will not be here. Just for that, another full day of, talk about buckle up, another full day of poking and prodding and making sure that, making sure that I don't tap out on the table when I get over there. So, all right, let's do this again. Thank you to Sue. Again, my apologies for missing yesterday. And to let me see, did I cover that? Yeah, let you know that we won't be here. At least we won't be here live tomorrow. There'll be an on-demand broadcast of the show. And we're also working, we'll talk a little bit about this weekend, about Saturday. You know what? Why don't we talk about it now? We're going to be doing this Saturday, the IPM Nation's International Block Party live for 13 hours, 11 a.m. to midnight Eastern time as a part of Backing Brian's Brain. Oh, look at that. The hashtag Brian Brain Trust. Thank you for everyone. I'll be thanking people individually tomorrow, but the numbers are just huge. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you. And a portion of it is, yes, not only getting me through this surgery and this and that, but I really have come to understand that, with more head scars than a Viking, that most Vikings, now there might be some Vikings that have more head scars than me, but more head scars than most Vikings. I don't want to upset anyone. Than most Vikings, that my future is going to be doing this little thing, right? So to that end, I've started reaching out to some other radio stations here in the Columbus area where I am, and just go, look, I'd like to learn this radio thing. And as you and I know by now, the good folks over at the Christian radio station, The River, it was kumbaya for everybody but me when I volunteered to volunteer. Right? When I said, hey, look, I'll come in and empty trash cans, just teach me all this stuff, I never heard from him again. So I'm going to reach out to some other radio stations here in the area and go, yeah, I'm a 5-time never mind. But in any event, I'm going to be learning how to do this. So a portion of those proceeds are also going to go to helping me in terms of building the studio and keeping, because I got a lot of learning. I got a lot of stuff to learn. Probably, I feel probably like you do. From time to time you go, oh, are you all set? And I got to go, yeah, no, you know what? Honestly, I'm not all set. I got to figure out what it is I'm doing as I move forward into this. So thank you all so very much. And if you're around Saturday from 11 a.m. till midnight, maybe just tune in to see if I can actually make it that long. But if you're around Saturday, I would love to have you, and we'll be taking calls. Don't forget, speaking of calls this morning, don't forget you can still give us a holler, 833-646-3877. Of course, the call is toll free, and that's 833-MIND-UPS. You can also text us toll free, because here's the scoop. Although standard rates may apply, right? I'm supposed to say that way. That's a little bit foreboding. Standard rates may apply. I don't know, like text or, I don't know, some kind of rates. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make certain to cover that for you. So if you just send me just like a picture on your phone, send it to me, then I'll go ahead and cover whatever, the nickel, the dime, whatever it is. Also, don't forget, I'll throw the QR code up now. If you're getting ready to head out the door, like it's that time of day, right? Whatever you're off to, just hit the QR code, take us with you on your phone. We test it every day to make sure that it's working, so you can hit up that QR code and take us out the door with you. All right, without further delay, without further ado, let's do this. Now, this morning's Lowlife's making headlines. There were so many of them that I was like, wait a minute. Okay, you guys are going to have to vote on this. So the first one, Lowlife's making headlines. This will only get me in trouble, right? But is Amazon, the big Amazon thing, head up by that Jeff Bezos guy. They're now saying, there was an article that I read, Amazon is on a digital book burning spree. Book burning, never a good idea. It wasn't way back when. It rates right up there with burning witches. Right? Not a good idea is all I'm saying. So Lowlife number 1 for the nomination, Jeff Bezos and the people over at Amazon. They are on a digital book burning spree, and they're just banning books they don't like, books that they're like, right? Apparently, if you're Louis Farrakhan, your books still get to stay, but if you write something else that's not, it's considered offensive by whose definition, who knows. But if you write something they consider offensive, they just don't put you on Amazon. And now like 780% of all books sold are sold on the Amazon Kindle format or whatever it is. So in effect, they're just blocking the content that you're able to read. So low life making headline this morning, Jeff Bezos, Amazon is on a digital book burning spree. Now you could vote for that, or you could say, now here's one that says angry white male studies. Now, this is a course written, let me just see. This was a course now, The Angry White Male. Where's this being offered? This is part of the college craziness or the campus craziness, which I like to think of it as college emissions as opposed to admissions. But in any event, I think it's University of Kansas, and you can vote for them if you like. But they say, oh, wait, now we're going to have an Angry White Males Studies course. And I'm assuming if you get that as a course, you can, maybe that's what you major in, the angry white males. University of Kansas. So since I threw Jeff's name out, let's throw out the University of Kansas, which it says here, a bastion of taxpayer-funded liberalism. But in any event now, there is a course, the Angry White Male Studies. Would you like to be in that class? See, wouldn't you just love to be in that class? But at any event, okay, that's Low Life Making Headlines, nominee number 2. And then our final nominee, this one kind of hits close to home. Our final nominee for this morning of the Low Life's Making Headlines, here's this poor mom. And I have to tell you, I've been in this situation before. It says here, a pregnant mother reportedly faces jail time for letting her 3-year-old urinate in the parking lot. So she's apparently like 11 and a half months pregnant. She's getting ready to have her baby at any point. And the kid's like doing the pee-pee dance, jumping around, got his, if you're a parent, you know exactly what's going on here. So now she is facing a court date for disorderly conduct charge after she reportedly let her 3-year-old urinate in a gas station because she didn't have time to get to the I guess you're not basically running the 100-yard dash in under 10 seconds if you're 10 and a half months pregnant, whatever it is. And so the Low Life Making headline this morning is the actual patrolman. Now, let me just say this, and we all know as a detective, I had a little something for patrolman. I've said before that some patrolmen just never should have had the job. But the Low Life Making headline this morning is the cop that actually thought, you know what, let me charge this woman with disorderly conduct because her 3-year-old had an accident in the parking lot of, what is this? I don't know. Some kind of store. It's just a gas station. Doesn't name the kind of gas station. So this poor woman has a court date at the end of the month, just days before she is due with her next child. And let's hope that the judge that's assigned to this case tosses it and then makes the patrolman that made them arrest, maybe says to the chief of this police department, why don't you just assign him to the motor pool? Maybe he can vacuum out the backs of cars when the real cops when the real cops pull back in right before roll call, maybe this knob can, maybe he can just clean some windshields, that kind of thing. Maybe make sure all the police report files are stacked. There's got to be stuff he can do around the office because the last place he belongs is out and about. It's just enforcing the law. It's just enforcing. There's rule. You just can't have 3-year-olds urinating everywhere. Yeah, right. All right. So I want to hop over to the thread now. Let's do this. I want to say good morning, everybody. And thank you. Thank you, Kathy. I thought the same thing, right? Right. So here's the thing. It's not like the kid jumped out and said, oh, I got to spray paint one of these pumps. I got to spray paint graffiti. It's a natural function. I just don't get it. So those are your 3, Jeff Bezos and Amazon book burning. Is nominee number 1. Nominee number 2, is the University of Kansas, the Angry White Males course. Maybe I could substitute for that class. I have, right? So, I think I could do that. Or this patrolman / Barney Fife wannabe. And I can tell you that before he made the arrest of this woman, he was busy practicing quick draw in the mirror. He probably can't even do Miranda warnings in his head. But the patrolman that arrested the pregnant mom for disorderly conduct because the poor kid just couldn't hold it anymore. idiot. So, well, I guess I don't want to put my fingers on the scale. I don't want to tip. We'll vote here in the thread. Who do you think should be today's low life making headlines? And then I'll send them a letter. Let them know that they got the honor for today. Good morning, Lee Rowley. Thank you so very much for joining us. Heather, nice to see you as well. Sarah, good morning to you. Please tell everybody we said howdy. Kathy says, good morning, Brian. Going to be a beautiful day today. I know, right? Like I heard sunny and 70. So, I'll give you an idea of the plan. Lee says morning to Lee as well. Heather Smart, nice to see you and good morning to you. Alice, good morning, Brian. Sorry I didn't make it more often. Not a morning person. Alice, between you and me neither, right? I make it as often as I can. And Alice says, good morning, Lee. So Kathy says she votes for both. Now, Kathy, I appreciate it, right? But so because there can't be a tie. So, Shane, good morning. Thank you for watching, joining us here at All Natural Being. There can't be a tie. So as much as we'd like to vote for all three and spread it out, Jeff Bezos and book burning, right? The folks over at Amazon, which I guess you're not controlling enough of the world. You're already the world's richest man, right? And maybe is it now even the richest company, and you're worried about what other people read. You're worried about an author's free speech. So we have Jeff Bezos from Amazon. We have the University of Kansas and the Angry White Male Studies. Oh, no, Angry White Male, run away. It's like Godzilla's on the loose. We've got that one. Oh, and the cop, Kathy, the patrol. I'm assuming a patrolman. See, that's just me being an angry white male. I think it was a patrolman. I don't think it was a patrol woman. I think it was a patrol man, right? But in any event, this knob that Kathy says she changed to the cop. Okay, so Shane, if you're still with us, Lee, if you're with us, Alice, if you're with us, you guys get to tip the scales this morning. The cop. Heather says the cop. I agree with you, Heather. You know what I mean? I think I do. I mean, I don't like the fact that Jeff Bezos is trying to burn books, and I'm not crazy at all about the angry white male studies. Just more of your tax dollars at work. There's one of them education certificates that you get in debt for. Alice says, I got to vote for Barney Fife, right? Alice, I think we're kind of dating ourselves, you and me. There may not be a lot of people that know the Barney Fife reference. But I'm sure this nut. Oh, yes, let me arrest the mom for disorderly conduct. And this is the person in charge. Get a hold of the chief and go, what are you thinking? All right. So I think we're going to go with the cop this morning, idiot, that arrests this poor pregnant woman because her son had to go pee-pee in the parking lot. You know, like saying, well, you just can't have that urine. It's a gas station. People are busy dribbling gas all over the place. You're worried about fish kill. Oh, well, Brian, if there's rain, that 3-year-old pee can be pretty toxic. We just can't have that 3-year-old urine, 3-year-old's urine washing into the stream. What will it mean for the foliage and the wildlife and everything else? It's a gas station parking lot. You got car oil. If they sell beer, you probably got some vomit from, Saturday night at like 3 a.m. It's got all this other stuff. You're worried about a 3-year-old's pee. What could a 3-year-old could have eaten? Or just what could a 3-year-old consume in the first 3 years of their life, right? What could they consume that you'd be so worried about that urine? I just don't get it. So let's do that. Let's do Barney Fife and the cop for this morning's Low Life's Making Headlines. All right. Also, before we get to our next segment, I want to do this, the Up in 30 Guarantee. Don't forget. Oh, and thank you, Parker, for the drawing. The Up in 30 Guarantee. We'll have our show, the on-demand rebroadcast of the show will be up within 30 minutes of this one ending. So, of course, that means 8 o'clock, top of the hour, East Coast time. It'll be up and we'll be ready to go. All right, let's do this, and then I want to show you something. Let's take a call first. Let's see. Now, which button? Let me see. Oh, so one of these is supposed to... Let's try this. Let's see if that worked. Caller number 1 is not there. Caller number 2. Caller number 2, you there? No, caller number 2. Oh, let's do this. For some reason, of course we're having technical difficulty this morning. All right, let's just... So do me a favor, caller. If you would, try Try, what's the other number? Try this number. We got numbers written down everywhere here. Try 614-656-7931. 614-656-7931. Give us a call. Oh, and the segment we were going to jump to, and it made me think of it because Kathy I think it was Kathy that said, it was going to be a beautiful day today. To say good morning and hello to Brett. Brett, thank you so very much for stopping by. So I wanted to catch you up a little bit of how I spent yesterday, and that is interesting. Then we'll get that call coming in there, but okay, let's give that a try again. Caller, if you would, 614-656-7931. See if we can get the call to come in that way. So I wanted to tell you yesterday, it was my inaugural, my maiden voyage of what I now call the most, you know what I call this mortal up sign? Just giving your wife more ammunition when it comes to her divorce filing, right? So, right, there's not a lot of people. So what I did yesterday was I took my mortal up sign, as you can now see. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, thank you so very much for joining us. If you're watching, and if you're on the radio side, I have my mortal up sign, and I have it set up like a picket sign, so I can twirl it. That's about all I've mastered so far is the acumen of twirling it. So I'm out and about, and I walked like 10 miles yesterday. And here's my rationale, even though, there's other people that they frown on it. My rationale is I got to get walking anyways. Why can't I just walk around the streets with mortal up, right? That's about the advertising budget that we have here for this show. Just ask Lee Rowley. He'll tell you. That's about the advertising budget we have. So, yeah. And then my wife just looks at me and shoots me a dirty look. But good morning, Brett. Nice to see you as well. Also, Jennifer, good morning. Thank you for getting up bright and early and joining us here at All Natural Being. We're just talking about my little marketing campaign, drawing people to mortalup.com. So what I do is I set my little, like a pedometer that says how long I'm going to walk. And I'm just going to walk 10 miles a day, which is what they're thinking. Okay, do that. Walk 10 miles a day. Let's see if I can take out all the stuff hanging around here with my mortal up sign, and I'll stand at street corners, this kind of thing, and I'll just pass it to people. Now, Austin and Wayne, who work on all of our internet kind of stuff, they'll be letting me know, is it actually doing anything? Are there actually people coming to the mortalup.com? Because as you know, mortalup.com directly links to BrianBrawdy.com, allnaturalbeing.com, blah, 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 blah. You get that. So that it's going to be sunny and 70 here today, I'm very, very, very excited about it because I won't get rained on like I did yesterday. And I'll probably walk around in my all-set T-shirt. I love it too. Thank you, Kathy, very much. But can I tell you something? And this is, maybe we can focus on this a little bit for this morning. And caller, I'm sorry that we missed you. I have no clue why that doesn't let me. You know what? I wonder if it thinks it can pick up from here. Maybe that's the question. But caller, thank you so very much. I super appreciate you reaching out to us. All right. So here's what I realized yesterday. When I first got the sign, I first had it, and I walked out, and there was an older lady walking her dog, and she goes, well, what is mortal up? First thing I realized, I need to bring business cards, right? I just need, when people say, oh, what is mortal up? Here's a business card in case you want one. Second thing is that it took a little bit, to be honest with you, right? Because you're like, oh, well, it's kind of weird. You don't see a lot of people walking around with a sign every day. Right? Just people cruising down the road, and you've got a sign that says mortal up. So it took a little bit at first, and then I thought, wait a minute. All right, so why is this a bit of a challenge? Why are you even thinking about this? And maybe you have something in your life like this where you go, well, what are other people going to think? What are other people going to say? And then like 2 minutes in, after you've done it, they don't shoot at you. Some people beep the horn and give you the finger. I have to be honest. I don't understand this. Why me carrying a mortal up sign down the street means that a driver has to slow down, lay on their horn, catch my attention, and flip me off? I just don't understand that. Right? But hey, it's every life, right? However, Jennifer says, I love wearing my Brawdy armor every day. Jennifer, thank you so very much. I super appreciate it. And I love seeing all the awards and all the way that your photos that you're doing just climb. Whenever you're in a competition, it's moving up in terms of the votes and the people seeing the photos. So congratulations, Jennifer. I tried to be a photographer once. I was following my friend Mike Morrow around China, around just all over Denali, all over the place. And I always thought, oh, the photographer would be a good thing. And then Ashley just got tired of me saying, hey, can you look at this picture? Is it critically sharp? Is it critically sharp? Is it critically sharp? So I realized pretty soon that I wasn't going to be a great photographer. So it's just time to pack it in. But thank you, Jennifer, very much. I appreciate it. So back to this morning's thought is that if you do something that makes you uncomfortable, and admittedly, in the opening couple minutes, I'm like, you're walking down the street with a sign that's a little weird, admittedly a little uncomfortable. But after like a minute or two, and the little nut job that passed in the car laid on the horn and flipped me off, well, after you get past that, you go, yeah, you know what? It didn't kill me. So I thought a little bit in the very beginning, oh, this is a little uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? Just a little uncomfortable. And then as you get into it, so here's my question to you. What do you think? What would it take for you to put your heart's highest priority top of your list? What's one of the things that you go, yeah, I've never done that before. That's a picket sign, it looks like to me. What's one of the things that you would do, right? Admittedly, you might feel a little uncomfortable, but I promise 100 yards in, I no longer felt uncomfortable. I was like, and then I got to switch hands because if you're holding the sign with one hand all that time, that could give you like carpal tunnel, right? I'm waiting to see tomorrow morning how all that works out. But, I'm switching the signs back and forth. I think I got to get a pop to take with me, a little bit of drinking while I'm going. But there's plenty of police officers that pass me. Lee and I were laughing going, well, will it be something? Wayne was like, oh, well, wait till the police. And I'm like, look, just keep the video cameras rolling, right? If the police come up to me and say, oh, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, just keep the cameras rolling, because I'm never going to be handcuffed. I don't do well with handcuffs. So that would be something to see for sure. Lee says some people were obviously never children. Signs are fun. Thank you, Lee, very much. As soon as Lee said signs are fun, it reminded me of the Bing Bang episode with Sheldon, Fun with Flags. So signs are, we got to figure out another, you're a writer, Lee. Let's come up. Signs are spectacular. Or I don't know, of flags are fun. But in any event, today's sunny and 70 here in Columbus. So I'm going to be hitting the streets. I might be on a street corner near you with the mortalup.com sign. Maybe I'll see if I can do a little video or this or that. And then I'll post that up on it as well. But if you're confronted with something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, then maybe you just do it at first. Maybe you just go, okay, great. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to gut it out for the first 30 seconds, 90 seconds. I'm going to gut it out for the first 100 yards. And then after that, I was kind of like, yeah, this is a really kind of, and by creative, I mean, not so smart idea, but it's still my idea, right? So I'm carrying my sign, I'm walking down the streets, some people are beeping and giving me a thumbs up, this and that and everything else. So that's going to be my day today. I have a few little things to accomplish this morning, and then I'm going to hit the street corners trying to draw people to mortalup.com. So that, I got a little card in the mail the other day that says, this is for you. Well, I'm hoping, as Jennifer says, I love wearing my Brawdy armor every day. I hope that this show does just that. So one of the ways we're going to draw people to it is with our mortalup.com picket signs. So if you happen to see me out and about and you'd like your own little crafty business card that says Mortal Up, right? I don't know why you would want one, but if you want one, soon to be refrigerator magnets, I'm told, as soon as they okay the increase in budget. Jennifer says it'll be almost 80 degrees today and a snowstorm tomorrow. I love Colorado. You know what that says to me, Jennifer? Time-lapse photography. Get the thermometer showing 80 and then the time lapse of the temperature dropping and the snow moving in. That is something we can work on today. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Again, my apologies about tomorrow morning. I'll be heading over to the Columbus Cranium Shack and Drug Hut. It is the Columbus Cranium Shack and Needle Emporium. I'll be heading over for a little more pre-testing for my big neuronal pedicure coming up in now 15 days. My apologies to the caller trying to call in. We'll figure out what's going on with the phones. My apologies. And then also we'll be back tomorrow. No, we won't be back tomorrow morning. Amnesia. It's been a riot. I got to tell you. Am I all set? Chances are. Who knows? We'll be back Thursday morning right here. So until then, Mortal Up, get out and do something that makes you a little uncomfortable at first. But like I said, 100 yards in, you're like, damn, this was a smart, not really, but good golly, this was a great idea. All right, we're out of here. We will see you Thursday morning. Thank you so much for hanging out. Get out there and mortal up.
You've been listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy.
Join us live every Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern.
Also, check us out around the clock at allnaturalbeing.com.
Until then, always remember to bring your own bold.
Yeehaw, look at that. Out in exactly 30 minutes. Where are your eyeballs now, Wayne?
IPMNation.com.